Hey. So, we're going to screen share with you guys so you can see our desktop. So let me pull that up. There it is. And enhance. Facts about Brothers Grimm. With a new movie version of Into the Woods and TV shows like Once Upon a Time and Grimm, it's clear as Cinderella's glass slipper that fairy tales are hot, thanks in part to the German brothers who made them so popular. Do we have any Germans here in the chat with us?
Do we have any German brothers in particular?
Oh, moreover, do we have any brothers? If you're either brothers or German, could
or
you
both?
Yeah, double points if you're both German and have brothers. Yes, I see, there you
A lot
are.
of Germans.
Yep, King of Cheesel, good to see you. And Hetty, what's up? You speak some German, Sophie, very cool. Quinn is as well. Oh my gosh, look at all these.
A lot of Germans.
What's up? Mein Gott, so viele Germans. Yeah, sweet.
All right.
Well, glad to have you guys here. German brother here. Well, thank you to German brothers like the Brothers Grimm. And here are two German brothers. Look at them. Those look like bros, don't they?
They do.
They got the same schnoz.
Yeah, they do.
If you're gazing into a crystal ball to find out the opening day of Into the Woods, it's apparently December 25th of last year. Or earlier. How is this written into the... Oh, this is updated. Never mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like this.
So that's a little bit of an older... It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. Hello? Oh, yes, I see you. A lot of you speak German. Well, very cool.
Fairy tales are hot.
Fairy tales are hot. And here's the deal. The Brothers Grimm, we want to learn about them here. Despite the fact that Jacob and Willem Grimm are often associated with Snow White and Rapunzel, the Germans... Sorry, I keep looking at the chat and it just says, I'm German. What about it? Where's everybody else tuning in from? Sorry to ignore the rest of the world, but these are two German brothers? But where are you? If you are a single child or brothers or sisters from anywhere else in the world, where else are you tuning in from? England, the land of Ing. Montreal, Texas. So we have Texas brothers here.
Spain, Russia, Argentina, Poland, Tennessee, Hungary, Brazil, Sweden, Wales, Austria, Bulgaria, Venezuela, Chile,
North Carolina, single child. Hello.
Mexico,
Kazakhstan, Belarus, Venezuela,
Taiwan,
Michigan, Florida,
Hong Kong,
Quebec,
New Zealand,
sweet,
Ireland,
Buffalo, New York. Everybody, welcome.
Czech Republic,
Ooh.
Lithuania.
Well, I'm sure there are some marvelous stories that have come out of all of these places, but today we go with German brothers.
German brothers.
Nice name, must be German. Lu Chan and Inky, what up? Oh man, everybody cheering it up. We got Discord, Chaos King with some big cheers, More Easier with the Hype Train, Virtual Netscape, and Sightless Prophet. Thank you for the good morning cheers. Septic Ange and Stacy Joanne, appreciate you.
Yay for learning.
Yay for learning. Happy Tuesday to you, Jade. And Morgan Stern, thank you for being here for 13 months with Ghost Town Garden. Welcome to the crew. So these German brothers are often associated with Snow White and Rapunzel. But the brothers didn't actually write any of those stories.
Oh?
In fact, the stories existed long before the two men were born in Germany as brothers. In the mid-1780s. Was anybody born in the 1780s? Do we have anyone in the chat from 1780? The fairy tales, in fact, were part of a rich oral tradition, passed down from generation to generation, often by women seeking to pass the time during household chores. But as industrialization took root, local traditions changed and scholars like Jacob and Willem began a quest to save the stories from extinction. They interviewed relatives and friends, collecting whatever tales they could, sometimes embellishing them, although they insisted they did not. In 1812, Jacob and Willem published the stories as part of a collection titled Nursery and Household Tales, and that's now referred to as the Grimm Fairy Tales.
So we have a lot of centuries old friends.
Really?
With us. Yeah, everybody's born in the 17th.
We either have a bunch of really old people on the chat or a bunch of liars. Whoa, amazing. Texas Sister, that counts. Sure. As long as you've written a story and you're about it. Let's see. I want to know, have you read some, what do you call it?
Yeah.
This is a Pokemon poll. Hold on. Have you read a Grimm fairy tale?
Hey CCM 2000, thanks for cheering and being here with us. Septic Ange, how you doing?
Let us know in the chat, you guys. Have you read a Grimm fairy tale? You can type number 1 for yes, you have. Number 2 for no, not yet.
Let us know. Don't hold it back anymore.
Hard to hear.
Yeah.
Number 1 is yes, number 2 is no. Whoa, a lot of you, over 80%. Well, this is Ashpottle. Seems a lot like, whoa, Axcrus, thank you again for the 5 gift subs. I appreciate that very much, and welcome aboard, Princess, and Belina, Shadow the Ace, Samantha, and Mirror D. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thank you for your generosity, Axcrus. Well, with almost 80% of us having read them, you guys let me know if you're familiar with these already when we get to them.
All right. Originally, Grimm fairy tales were not meant for children. Yeah, I believe that. The stories routinely included sex, violence, incest, and copious footnotes. Worse yet, they didn't have illustrations. Initially aimed at adults, the early editions of nursery and household tales contained remarkably dark elements. In its original version, for example, Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince after a casual fling. In Cinderella, the stepsisters cut off their toes and heels to try and fit into the slipper.
Wait,
Yes.
what?
I've read that before.
Oh.
These sort of scenes and many others were eventually revised once the stories became popular amongst children. But yeah.
Yo, can you imagine being the person who's reading that child's story? And then like, oh god, no, someone needs to update this. Please, no cutting off toes.
No toes.
Can you imagine wanting to be with the prince so badly that you cut off your own toes?
Yeah. That's sad.
That's really kind of terrible. Amidala716, thank you for the cheers. Who's a triplet? Sweet.
Wow.
Triplets who read Grimm tales, that definitely counts. You get 3 points awarded.
Gryffindor. Haha.
Ah.
In 1830, King Ernest Augustus demanded oaths of allegiance from all professors in Göttingen.
Gottengeg? How we doing, German friends?
Göttingen, a university where Jacob and William taught Germanic studies. The brothers refused to pledge to the king, and along with 5 other professors, the Göttingen 7 were made to leave the city. Jobless and branded as political dissidents, the brothers were forced to borrow money from friends as they worked on their story collection. Okay, it's
Göttingen.
Göttingen.
That sounds better. Thank you,
Göttingen.
Germany. Appreciate you. Shout out to our friends in.
Germany.
Is anybody in Göttingen? Göttingen?
Göttingen.
There it is.
There we go.
The Grimm's collection of fairy tales was in its 7th edition when Willem Grimm died in 1859. By that point, the collection had grown to 211 stories, and it included intricate illustrations. Jacob, who had lived with Willem and his wife, the ultimate third wheel, died in 1863. And Sightless Prophet, thank you for 2 gift subs. Appreciate that very much. And Myish228, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the crew. Cowboy Threeper, thanks for the cheers.
So the ultimate third wheel. Yeah.
According to biographers, Jacob was deeply distraught after the death of his brother, with whom he'd held a close bond throughout his life. Some claim their collection has only been outsold by Shakespeare and the Bible. Whoa. There they are.
Oh, there they are.
All in a row.
Oh. Okay.
The Grimms worked on more than fairy tales, though. University-trained philologists?
Yep.
Oh, so a philologist, we didn't know,
No.
is the study of language in historical texts.
Okay.
Do we have any philologists with us here?
Philologists, that's a fun word to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you study language, you can handle saying philologists.
Mm-hmm.
And librarians, so they were philologists and librarians. Jacob and Willem published more than fairy tales.
Oh, we have Deviant Badger is a philologist.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Deviant Badger, are you also born in the 1780s?
In Germany.
In Germany with your brother? Are you in fact Jacob or Willem Grimm? They wrote books about mythology and published scholarly works on linguistics and medieval studies. They also worked on compiling an ambiguous German dictionary.
Ambitious.
Oh, not much of a reader. That word says ambitious. I am not a philologist. They worked on compiling an ambitious German dictionary, although both brothers died before they were able to finish the entry for the letter F. Oh man. Anybody else got a project underway? Charmy, thank you for being here with 3 gift subs. Appreciate that very much. Homebody is somebody. Welcome. Chocoholic, I know about that. We did a chocolate curiosity chill recently.
We did.
And Detonator 003, thanks for being here. Jamie is Strange, welcome back. 14 months. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And Septic Hands, thank you for cheering. So,
That's it for this one.
that's it for this page, but there's certainly more we can learn about these 2 brothers Grimm. Let me load up a new page here for us. Here, history, National Geographic. All right, let's share this new link with the team.
Yes. Ooh.
There you go,
They
mods.
look a little older in this picture.
Yes, time will do that.
Yes.
2 brothers Grimm. Look at them.
Yes.
They don't look too grim. They look like they
Well,
could be
the
nice.
one who's
enough.
standing up looks a little concerned
He
about
looks
something.
more. He looks more grim than the other one.
Yeah. All right.
Brothers Grimm fairy tales were never meant for kids.
Well, yes.
Shut down. Everybody say. I mean, I could put this in. I could subscribe right now, but I don't really want to log in with my personal banking information while we stream. So, hope you guys all enjoy that link. Britannica, equally well respected.
Oh, hi, Theodore.
Hi, Theodore.
Hello.
Here you
Hi, little
go.
curious bean. All right.
Here we are. Let's zoom in on this one. Get out of here, advertisements. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get some education on me. We just zoom in on this for you guys a little bit so it's easier to read. I know we got some folks on mobile. Oh, get out of here, ads. Okay, stop
get
it.
out of here,
Stop it.
ads. So
Just let me
lame.
learn. I just want to learn, not buy. Grimm Fairy Tales. Classic and influential collection of folklore by, you guessed it, Jacob and Willem Grimm, our favorite homeboys from Germany.
Yes. Ooh.
They published their first 2 volumes as Kinder und Hausmachen. Is that how I say it?
Yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Which is children's and household tales, and later revised and enlarged 7 times between 1819 and 1857, translated into English as German Popular Tales in 2 volumes, and since has been translated into numerous titles. Who is this?
Hansel and Gretel.
Hausmärchen. There it is. Thank you guys.
Hausmärchen.
You like how I speak German? I just start like freaking out.
Grimm Fairy Tales comprises some 200 stories, most of which were adapted from oral sources. Yes, the best known tales include Hansel and Gretel, Snow White, Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, Tom Thumb, Rapunzel, The Golden Goose, and Rumpelstiltskin. The universal appeal of these stories, whether they are considered psychological archetypes or as fantasy narratives, inspired a myriad of print, theatrical, operatic, balletic, and cinematic adaptations.
So, of those most commonly known Grimm fairy tales, which of these sticks out to you as something you remember from your childhood or a favorite story? Stiltskin, there it is, number 1, all the way down to number 7. Which are you most familiar with, let's say?
I am definitely the most familiar with Rumpelstiltskin. I remember we had a VHS of Rumpelstiltskin, and my sister and I would watch it often.
You know, I remember watching a TV version of... Yes, Hansel was one of the guards in Wolf Among Us. Mm-hmm. Hans. There was like a children's version. It had actors and then like, I don't know if it was puppets or something, but it was like fairy tales. They had like really famous like Academy Award winning actors that... I'll look it up as we go.
Is this the end of this article? Yeah.
Sweet.
Alright. It seems like Little Red Riding Hood is the most popular so far, followed by Snow White. And then Rapunzel, and then... No, Rumpelstiltskin, and then Rapunzel.
Alright, well we know that those are your favorites, but let's look up the 10 best Grimm fairy tales. Here's yet another link for our moderators. Thank you, mods. Let's get some mod on Lieutenant Love, please. Thank you for all your help today. The 10 best Grimm fairy tales. They left an astounding legacy, and here are some of their stories. Hansel and Gretel. This story was recorded by Dorchen Wilde, a storyteller who married Willem Grimm. As it turns out, the theme of leaving children of the woods was quite popular in European folktales. A French story, La Petite Poussette, La Petite Poussette, from 1967 starts out almost identically. Well, oh, Amelia, you're going to have to take this one here. What is that French nonsense?
Madame, make it bigger, yes. Yes, bigger, excellent. Madame Dolnoy. Dolnoy. It's a tricky one.
No one is convinced. It means...
Finette Cendron.
Mentions 3 princesses who get lost in the woods and find their way to an ogre's house.
Le Petit Poussé.
Ah, oui, oui. Merci beaucoup.
French is hard.
French is hard, well.
But the accent is beautiful.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. This is not good.
No, Theodore, this is not where we go. No. No, bud. No. Ah! Come here. No. Those are wires. These are not for little fluff cats like you. All right.
Beyond Hansel and Gretel, here it is, Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes, this was the one that I would watch.
This was the version?
Yes.
Does anyone else recognize this image here? Rumpelstiltskin. A miller's daughter is locked in a castle and forced to spin straw into gold.
Straw into gold.
Fortunately, Rumpelstiltskin comes to her rescue, spinning straw into gold in return for her valuables. In the end, it doesn't quite work out for Rumpelstiltskin. No. He suffers an unusual death of being split in 2. Mm-hmm. Happy chill, everyone. Mm-hmm. The famous name comes from the German word Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstilts.
A type of goblin found in German mythology.
So her valuables, just so you know, was her firstborn child.
Whoa.
So
she had to give up her firstborn child?
Yes. She gave him all the stuff and she said, okay, yes, I'll give you my firstborn child. But then when she actually has her firstborn child, she's like, nah, though. This is my baby.
Oh, she tries to undo.
Yeah, and
she tries to control Z on Rumpelstiltskin?
Yeah, and then he's like, I will only give you, you have to guess my name. And if you guess my name, then you can have your child back. And so she's guessing all this stuff, and he knows that she'll never guess it. But then this little bird comes and whispers in her ear and says, Rumpelstiltskin. And so then she knows, and he gets so mad, and he stomps his feet, and he ends up, the entire building that they're in crumbles, and he gets splat in 2.
Ew.
I really want to watch this movie again now.
Ew.
Yeah. All right, next story.
So was that your favorite one, do you think?
That one definitely had a very strong impact, for sure.
For sure. And Shiromajo Games, thank you for the gift sub to Tommy Gunn. Appreciate that. Silverhawk, thanks for the big cheers with Septic Ange and Zoe Samuels. Those are... Let's see. Let's get through all 10 of these, and then we'll let you know which ones are our favorite. Shiris Jimina, why was Cinderella so good at playing hockey, Amelia?
Why?
Because she always runs away from the ball.
Ah.
Oh, wait.
She was no good.
She was no good at playing hockey. Also, is there a... I get it. Soccer. How about that? Why was Cinderella no good at playing soccer? Because she was always running away from the ball. There. Sorry, guys. ... Here we go.
Ooh.
The Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Yes. No, you go.
This sinister, grim tale may be based on true events. A glass window in a church of Hamelin depicts a piper and an inscription that states, in 1284,
Ooh.
by a piper clothed in many kinds of colors, 130 children born in Hamelin were seduced and lost at the place of execution near the coffin.
What?
Even today, no one is sure why the children were taken away or what happened exactly that year.
Ooh. So fun fact about the Pied Piper. I did an episode of the TV show Grimm, and my episode was based on the Pied Piper.
It was.
So got to work with some rats.
Has anybody watched the episode of Grimm? Maddie Co, thank you for the cheers. Cross country. Oh, well, thank you very much. Glad you can join us when you can. Thank you, Alan.
Hetty Bay watched it. Yay.
The Death Messenger.
Ooh.
Some grim fables are just too dark to be made into Disney classics. Death's Messenger tells the story of Death, who appears as a person and is nursed back to life by a healthy man. Death promises to spare no one, but tells his savior that he will give him a heads up before his final hour. Needless to say, Death works in mysterious ways, and the youth does not quite get what he bargained for.
Ooh. I never heard about this one.
That one's not my favorite. Let's skip that one.
Okay. The King of the Golden Mountain. The brothers Grimm are immortalized with this statue in Castle. In their dark tale, a man makes a pact with an evil dwarf, promising to give up his son in exchange for riches. What? The outcast son goes on a series of harrowing adventures involving a snake, a princess, and a magic ring. Atypically, nobody seems to have a redeeming quality one would expect to find in a typical fairy tale protagonist. Ugh. So a father promises to give up his son in exchange for riches. Yo.
It's not that far-fetched. I've met some fathers that would sell their sons for riches, for sure. Fill them with gold. Do what you can. Do what you must.
Wow.
Aw, the Frog Prince.
Hello.
Anybody know this story?
Yeah.
Girl meets frog, girl kisses frog, girl gets frog turned prince, and we all know the famous amphibious story by the Brothers Grimm, but many may not know that it goes by another title, Iron Heinrich. First published in their 1812 edition of the tales, this was the first work in their collection. Moral of the story? Never say never. It's your dad's birthday tomorrow, Emma Brave?
Happy birthday.
Well,
to
I
your
hope you don't
dad.
get sold for riches. Morgan Cassidy, thank you for being here. And thanks for the gift sub to Hetty Bay. Yo, I'm sure there's a lot of different versions of this. If you wanted to find the Grimm fairy tales, I'm sure you could find them online, as well as in book form, apparently sold more than almost anything besides Shakespeare and the Bible.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. German scholar Eckhard Sander revealed the story of a fair princess poisoned by her stepmother, may have been based on the true story of Marguerite von Waldeck, a German countess born to Philip the Fourth, okay, thank you. Philip IV in 1533. She fell in love with a Spanish prince whom her parents disapproved of, and then died at the age of 21 under mysterious circumstances. A poisoned apple, perhaps? Ooh.
Murked.
Marguerite von Waldeck.
Murked.
Whoa.
You guys want to see the real life Snow White, perhaps?
Yes.
Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this. We are scholars, after all. We can Google just about anything. Are you kidding me?
Whoa.
There she is. Look. Yep. Confirmed. It's confirmed. She's Snow White. This is as deep as our research needs to go. She's obviously Snow White, the real life Snow White.
Oh.
Here she is again with a nice beard.
No, that's who she fell in love with. Maybe. No, yes.
That's Philip II of Spain. Oh, look at all this.
So it seems to be this one. She's the most consistent, yes.
What do you think? You guys, do you buy it? She look like Snow White to you guys?
Yeah.
I'd say confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrelia, thanks for the gift sub to Aura. Appreciate you,
Wow.
Lieutenant.
Schwartz Bloom, she's from your hometown?
She's from your hometown?
Wow.
Well, then, maybe you are Legacy Snow White. Septic Ange, thank you for the 42 bits. All right. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, based on the German Countess. You would say definitely. Savage says definitely. It's confirmed. Yeah. Seems pretty good. Yeah, that's her. All right. We got to the bottom of that pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. All right.
Sophie, thank you for the gift sub to Blurp.
Blurp underscore and Septic Andrew and Shearus, thank you for the cheers. Why was Cinderella such a poor football player, Amelia?
Why?
She had a pumpkin for a coach.
What?
Ooh, the town musicians of Bremen. The misadventures of a donkey, a dog, a cat, and a rooster are memorialized in the German town of Bremen, where visitors are greeted by a large bronze statue. Well, you know, in Bremen they speak with a Brummie accent. Where are we? Oh, this is a group of critters, you guys. Large bronze statue of these critters. As you can see them here, they are stacked by size, which is convenient when making a statue. Mm-hmm. The story may have arrived in Europe via India in as early as 91 BC. As the town's historical website points out, in India, musical animals were thought to exist at that time and could have provided inspiration for the tale. Do we have anyone joining us from India? Welcome, everybody. You forgot about this story? You used to love this one? Sweet. Yo. Indeed, indeed. I've never even heard of this story.
Me neither.
Wow, Mozzie Bear, thank you for the gigantic cheers.
Thanks, Mozzie.
Appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you guys all for joining us. And Johnny Moy's got friends in India, so can you check it out with them and find out what's going on with this stacking these animals up so nicely? Well-balanced animals.
Quite.
Here comes Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, let down your hair.
Let that down, let that down.
The story of the long-haired princess has been a favorite for decades. Few know that Rapunzel is another word for a vegetable called a rampion, which has leaves like lettuce and roots like a radish. The English phrase, let down your hair, may have hailed from the story of this golden-haired maiden. Well, yes, obviously.
Yeah.
That was what I said before.
Yeah, here she is.
She has long hair.
That's her, the real Rapunzel.
Actually, that looks like a...
That looks like a little doll.
Yeah, that looks like a doll.
Kind of creepy.
Super creepy.
Well, you guys love Rapunzel. I see a lot of love for Rapunzel. That's our girl. Mm-hmm. Same, says Lyrelia. I always wanted to have super long hair since I was a girl. Anybody else ever dream of having infinite long hair?
I did.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know what they say? With great hair comes great
responsibility.
Yes, with great responsibility. Yes. But someone could climb up that hair, you know?
Yeah, I definitely had a competition with my friend of who had the longest hair, and she definitely had me beat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had long hair before, about shoulder length. When I first met Amelia, I had long hair, but it wouldn't be long enough anyone could climb up it.
No.
It'd be a real short climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I worked on a film that took place in the 70s, so I grew my hair all out for it.
You did. 10th Kingdom. Yes.
10th Kingdom!
Nor. Yes. Oh my God, I love the 10th Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it is a really great mini-series from the early 2000s, and this was one of my favorite. I watched this like again and again and again and again. It's really funny. It's all inspired by the Grimm fairy tales. This main girl, she lives in New York City, and she gets somehow taken into the world of Grimm fairy tales where all of those creatures are coming to life. So if you haven't watched it and you like this kind of stuff, check it out.
Yeah, Amelia literally loves this.
Yeah, Brian got it for me for Christmas one year, and it was one of the best.
Yeah, we binged it during the holidays, watched all 10 episodes or whatever. It was long, right? 10 hours, I think?
It was an investment for sure.
Yo, and Jangers, thanks for the gift sub to Caro Gretti. Appreciate that. So you guys all shouted it out. There he is, a little dude.
Elves and the Shoemaker.
In this tale, a struggling elderly cobbler is mysteriously aided by magical elves. Originally titled, Die Wicklaman. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
This tale has made numerous appearances in contemporary pop culture. In the Harry Potter series, for example, house elves like Dobby, pictured above, look after human wizards and are never seen again once given clothing. Just like in the Grimm story. And here we are, back to Hansel and Gretel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of all these ones, the one that sticks out the most to me, I'm gonna go with Snow White.
Yeah, the
Seven
fact
Dwarfs.
that Snow White was inspired by a real life woman is takes it to that whole new level. I had no idea.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that Dobby was inspired by a Grimm fairy tale either. Learn something new every Tuesday. Septic Ange, thank you for cheering. So what do you guys think? What was your most impactful one out of all these? I think, yes, Snow White and Rumpelstiltskin. Just cause. Piper Shaw, back for 18 months.
Womp, womp, womp.
Looking
You
good
are
with
red.
that red heart. Aw. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for chilling with us.
All right, here's a couple of top fairy tale TV shows. Maybe you guys can let me know if you've ever seen some of these. I'll share the link just now. Television shows based on fairy tales are all the rage today. Once Upon a Time may be a fan favorite, and here are some others. Are you guys familiar with these?
I definitely did watch some of Once Upon a Time, but not all of it.
Here's Grimm,
Yes.
a show that Amelia's worked on.
I think I was in the first season. I think it was like episode, I want to say 11, but maybe not. There it is, yeah.
There she is.
Dance Macabre, yes.
There's Amelia. Looking for it. Some Grimm fairy tale action.
Yes. That was fun. I got to learn how to pretend to play the violin. That was cool.
There are tons of photos of you on the internet, Amelia. Here we
Yes, but none from that. A bunch of other things, though.
Shelley Duvall's fairy tale theater. This, I think, is what I'm talking about.
Ah, yeah, that looks like
This is
something
from the
I watched.
mid-'80s, short filmed adaptations with big stars such as Robin Williams, Paul Rubens, Tim Burton, Francis Ford Coppola, among others.
Wow.
I think this was the one I got excited about. Fairy Tale Theater. Here, let's see what we can find there.
Luke Lemon, thanks for cheering, saying it's time to rewatch The 10th Kingdom. I agree.
Yeah, this looks like it.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of this as a youth. Yeah, you got Rapunzel, Snow Queen, Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp, Cinderella. Oh, yeah.
I've never seen this.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You can't unsee it. You know? It's that kind of...
Yeah.
There he is, my dude.
Wow.
Yeah, this is more for me than it is for you guys at this point. Just what other ones we got? The Charmings. Has anybody seen this show called The Charmings?
This was from 1987.
Well, they were all born in 1780.
Yeah, so you must know this.
It's a sitcom about Snow White and Prince Charming.
Where they wake up in suburban California. Oh, wow.
Jim Henson's The Storyteller.
I don't know this one.
Beauty and the Beast from the 1980s.
Wow. Look at that picture. Luke Lemon, I agree. I miss Robin Williams too. Wizards and Warriors. This is a 1983 CBS fantasy comedy that only lasted 8 episodes.
Word. Oh, Beauty and the Beast on the CW.
Ooh.
Oh, I did an episode of that.
Yeah, you did, Brian.
Yo, episode called Hothead.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Playing a fireman. Going around. Who's this asshole? I know him. Yep. It was fun to be a fireman.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was fun while it lasted. Before the fire. Just for Jericho, just so you guys know, in case things get totally out of hand, I'm an actual fireman.
Yeah.
There we go. Fairy tales. What is this? The 10th Kingdom! There it is.
Yes, the 10th Kingdom follows modern girl Virginia, played by Kimberly Williams, and her father, John Larroquette, as they journey into a parallel universe of the 10th Kingdoms. In this world where all the fairy tales actually happened, and the heroes each rule a different kingdom. With an all-star cast including names such as Rutger Hauer, Anne Margaret, and Cameron Manheim, this is a series you don't want to miss. This Hallmark miniseries was one of my favorites growing up too. Yes. Okay, so here, do it.
Here, do it.
Yeah.
Do what's right.
Do what is right.
Very interesting. Well, thank you guys for going down the rabbit hole of these grim fairy tales.
What are some things that you learned about the grim fairy tales?
Yeah, shout it out in chat. If you learned a thing, what's one thing that you learned today about the Brothers Grimm? Hey, how did Jack know how many beans his cow was worth? Bubble Bambi says. He used a calculator.
That Snow White was based on a real person. Yeah, I agree. Dobby was based on a grim fairy tale.
Yep. It was 4 brothers. Taken up, divided by 2. 2 brothers. 2 brothers and a wife, and they lived together like a happy 3. Very cool.
You were a sexy firefighter.
Well, you know, back when I was hitting that gym.
A few new stories.
That you cannot climb Brian's hair. You learned that Brian has a fantastic German accent?
That they weren't actually for kids.
Yeah, definitely. Stepmothers are evil. Not all of them, but some.
That the Frog Prince was a grim tale.
Yeah. Look at these. I think this is very interesting. I want to learn more about this one. I'm going to look this one up. The Town Musicians of Bremen.
One of the Grimm brothers was the third wheel. Yeah.
The Town Musicians of Bremen is a popular fairy tale retrieved and recorded by the Brothers Grimm. The plot is that a donkey, a dog, a cat, and a rooster All past their prime years in life and usefulness in their respective farms were soon to be discarded or mistreated by their masters.
Oh no.
One by one, they leave their homes and set out together. They decide to go to Bremen, known for its freedom, to live without their owners and become musicians there. These are deviant farm animals, you guys.
Yeah.
They're going to Jericho. On the way to Bremen or Jericho, they see a lighted cottage. They look inside and see 4 robbers enjoying their ill-gotten gains. Standing on each other's backs, they decide to scare the robbers away by making a din. The men run for their lives, not knowing what the strange sound is. The animals take possession of the house, eat a good meal, and settle in for the evening. Later that night,
Oh no.
the robbers return and send one of their members in to investigate. He sees the cat's eyes shining in the darkness, and the robber thinks he sees the coals of the fire. He reaches over to light his candle. Things happen in quick succession. The cat scratches his face with her claws, the dog bites him in the leg, the donkey kicks him with his hooves, and the rooster crows and chases him out the door screaming. He tells his companions that he was beset by a horrible witch who had scratched him with her long fingernails, the cat, a man who had a knife, the dog, a black monster who hit him with a club, the donkey, and worst of all, the judge who had screamed from the rooftop, the rooster. The robbers abandon their cottage to the strange creatures who have taken it, where the animals live happily for the rest of their days. In the original version of the story, which dates back to the 12th century, the robbers are a bear, a lion, and a wolf, all animals featured for their heraldic devices. When the donkey and his friends arrive in Bremen, the townsfolk applaud them for having rid the district of these terrible beasts. An alternate version involves animals' masters being deprived of his livelihood because the thieves stole his money or destroyed his farm or his mill, and having to send his animals away, unable to take care of them any further. After the animal dispatch the thieves, they take their ill-gotten gains back to their master so he can rebuild. Another version involves at least one wild, non-livestock animal, such as a lizard, helping the domestic animals out in dispatching the thieves.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, there you have it.
I like it.
Now you all know the story. What a happy ending. And the Puppet 55. Hello, Puppet.
Hello, Puppet.
Thank you for being here with your prime. So now we need to decide where we're going to raid together, my friends. We've got 2 options of a raid found by our lovely mods. One is a Detroit Become Human playthrough, and they are going for 100%, so if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty. And number 2 is a chill drawing stream. See what they're working on over there. You can type number 1 for Detroit Become Human, 2 for a chill drawing stream. Thank you guys all for joining us.
Yes.
And our next upcoming streams are...
Tomorrow, we shall play Pokemon for Wholesome Wednesdays. Pokemon Shield, it is time to get that Champion Cup. And then after I get that cup, we're going to play some Guitar Hero on PS2. Flashback, nostalgia, coming for you.
Thank you for joining us, you guys. Here we go. It looks like we've got a winner for our raid. Who is it gonna be? Not terribly surprised, but good job, Chill Drawing Stream. You cheered on. I'm gonna drop the link real quick. If you are someone who would rather go to a Chill Drawing Stream, you can do a manual raid over there. And then we're all gonna teleport over together to this Detroit Become Human stream. Yes, thank you guys all for joining us. We're grateful you can be here. This is the Chill Drawing Stream. If you guys want to check it out, no trouble going in multiple directions. There we go. And now it's time for the raid. If you've never done a raid before, all you got to do, stay right where you are, and we're going to teleport together to another channel. Sweet. That'll do. Thank you, moderators, for that. All right, raid. We'll see you soon for some Pokemon on tomorrow's stream, and if you can join us Friday and Saturday, we're playing
We're playing Spider-Man, and we have a super special guest. On Friday, we have Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt, who play Spider-Man and Yuri Watanabe. So they're coming here, they're gonna be chilling with us and answering your questions.
All right, time to raid. 3, 2, 1. Give them lots of follows, lots of love. Go, 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 go.